Okay, before I totally button this thing up, I want to show you this simple method for making a Q60 into a nice RC truck. Okay, now obviously we put in the steering servo, removed the motor-driven steering box, and hopefully you can see the servo right there. You can just see there's the nose of the servo. The ESC is stuck right to the top of the servo with Zap Goo. I resoldered and used the wires for the stock on-off switch. Okay, and then my servo wires for my steering, and from the ESC to the receiver. Are up here in the top. The receiver is just Zap Gooed to the side of the wall there, and the receiver sits right here. That leaves plenty of room for the battery and the LVA. Okay, so let me button that down and we'll proceed. Okay, so with the battery tray bolted back in place, you can see I've just got my battery wire from the ESC, just runs right up in there. I didn't have to, lengthen it or solder or anything. That's with the ESC glued down on top of the steering servo. Now I'm ready to put the cab back on. Before I do, though, I'm going to do some more work to it. You can see that among all the mess that I've managed to get on there that I'll have to peel off, I blacked out the frames and the windshield wipers. And I hate those little spider web thingies. They're a pain in the butt to get off, and they bug you until you do get them off. But anyway, that and the cat hair. All I did on the inside was, you can see I did a little bit of detail to the dashboard. Just, painted the dials white and did a couple of little red and yellow lights and, whatever. Took artistic license in there big time. I am going to replace these side mirrors. I don't like the rubber ones that they've got. Still haven't unmasked the front grille. Once all that stuff is done and put back down on there, she'll be ready to run. She runs off the stock on-off switch in the front, and the sound system is hidden in the rear in these two crates. These two crates are glued down. They're permanent. Got the speaker right here with a hole through the bed for the sound to point at the ground, and then the module itself is right here. So if I ever want to change the soundtrack, and I can adjust the volume with that knob right there. And these are the wood filament 3D printed crates, which I like because I'm lazy and I don't have to paint them. I just print them and then give them a wash with the Flory Pro Modeler, this stuff here, and they're good to go. Just holding them down with Zap Goo. I've never heard of anybody else on the forum say that they have been using this stuff, and I keep mentioning it, and I don't know why guys aren't using it. This stuff is just absolutely fantastic. It's what I use to glue down the ESC, the receiver, the crates, and that stuff will stay there until I want it to come out. But if I do ever want it to come out, I can go in from the back with like a putty knife and just slow, steady pressure. It will come out, and it won't mess up the paint even. So anyway, that's where we're at with the Q60. Okay, so here's a quick test drive. Shadow's going to supervise. She starts up when you turn the truck on. I have to open the crate to adjust the volume. You can get a little bit of rev if you just lightly touch the throttle. It's still ridiculously fast. So next will be lights. I'm going to do headlights and tail lights, and I'm going to have a switch underneath the truck to turn them on and off, just as I do on the FPV M35. I thought about a 2-speed gearbox for this, but this is a JJRC truck, and I don't think those gearboxes are compatible, so we'll use the 2-speed gearboxes when I do the Euro. So next is lights, and when we get some progress there, we'll see you next time.